Welcome to True Crime Psychic Eye, a unique true crime show where we look to balance logic and intuition. Tonight is a special case, special edition. Is
Sorry.
that, I'm like,
I was
Denise,
trying to see. Sorry, I apologize. I was trying to see the comments and I couldn't mute the
I can
audio.
hear myself. I love myself, but that's a lot. My name's Maryam. I'm a psychic medium. Denise is also a psychic medium, life doula, and Reiki healer who helps women align with their inner wisdom to become their own maven. Myself and Denise do not follow or read up on true crime specifically so we can come in as clear as possible. Of course, this case is massive. Of course, we are aware. We've been trying to hide our ears and eyes from what's been going on so we could come in fresh. But obviously, that's going to be a little bit of a challenge. But we are trained professionals, so we will do our best. Harlow, our researcher, is normally here, but because this case is live and fluid and moving and all over the place, you guys, we all pretty much all know the same stuff. So we will be back on Thursday night where Harlow will be with us. Please join us over on our Patreon if you have not already. We will be doing a post show right after this on this case. We will be continuing the discussion over there. So typically, we do not do cases that are the cases we do are typically 10 years or older out of respect for the families. But as we've been doing this work, people have been reaching out to us with cases that are very new. And we realized it was time to expand that thought process a little bit. The Nancy Guthrie case is an example of where it didn't feel right to not address it, to not discuss it. But we also want to honor and respect what the family is going through and not diminish the pain and suffering. So because this case has caused a visceral reaction within all of us, we determined that the best way to approach this tonight is with a Q&A. So please put your questions in the comments, and some of our Patreon viewers have submitted comments that we'll start with those first. Tonight, we will answer your questions, but please keep this in mind. If there's anything that we feel we should not verbalize out loud for the safety of our team or the Gunthries case, we will decline to answer, but let you know. Any tangible information we get, we will pass on to authorities. With that being said, I'd like to open up with a healing meditation for Nancy and the family, just a short couple of seconds that we can all come together and do. And then please share with us what you're feeling, any questions you have, or anything that you are processing emotionally. And of course, please share with us your intuition and what may come up for you as we do this read. So let's all just come together for a moment, close our eyes, take 3 releasing breaths, deep inhale through the nose, exhale, just really push all that air out. All right, so let's just all come together in this moment, connecting the hearts, connecting the energy, connecting the spirit bodies, the physical bodies, together as a team tonight, all of us feeling with compassion, with intuition, with our third eye. Sole purpose is to be of service, to help. If information comes up, that we are to share it, and that we send love to the family, to not just the Gunthries, but any family out there suffering or experiencing loss. We just shine light and love, feel ourselves, see ourselves holding them, holding space for them, warming their hearts, filling them with light and love and hope and promise of a new day. And we ask you, Spirit, to join us and guide us through truth, through emotion, through clarity, and with trust and faith that what we are supposed to know, we will be shown. So let me just close this door and we will get started. In or out, babe? Come on. We've got dogs that want to come in and out. So if you guys can just give me, because like I need a second to just connect with them, and then we'll jump into your questions. Obviously, one of the questions that was submitted a lot was, is Nancy still alive? And Denise and I decided we would not answer that question. We don't want to provide false hope. We also don't want to say something that could be deeply devastating to hear, whether they believe or not in psychics. It's just not something that is, I feel, and Denise also felt is fair to say. So we will decline that answer. Decline that question. So the first question, I think, is another most popular one. Denise, do you want to start us off with this one?
I feel he is involved in some way.
I was really torn. I'm looking at pictures of them here. I was genuinely torn. A part of me was like, nope. But then there was just something confusing for me. And I think because he doesn't, his energy isn't giving me, like, usually Denise and I, like, we'll look at a picture and we'll both be like, how is nobody seeing this? Like,
Right, yeah.
on their forehead. It wasn't to me, for like, this didn't, I like looked at the photo and wasn't like, oh my God, yes. I was like, huh? So what do you have to say about that?
I feel like it's a jealousy thing, which I know sounds so weird, but because I don't know, who is he married to, because I really don't know that much about this case, I'll be honest, even though it's taking place here in Arizona.
Oh yeah. What were you share with people what you saw in Arizona?
Well, they've got billboards on the freeway, pleading for her safe return. And I it's just bizarre to me that, you know, that she's been gone for so long, and yet there's still no real answers. And, you know, why is she gone? And how did that happen? And I don't know. I mean, I have the same questions as everyone else, right? It's just
Right.
it's just kind of
So Nancy Guthrie, Savannah Gunthrie, she hosts is it the Today Show or Morning Show? Her mother, 84 years old, has been missing. They have video of someone walking up to the door, but they don't have any leads. So one of the things that I got was that the family knows something that we all don't know. And I don't necessarily mean that nefariously. I mean that, like, there's information that, for obvious reasons, they're not going to tell us, right? But they know something, and something they can't share. And that's going on behind the scenes.
mm-hmm. And I feel like that behind the scenes is dictating the way the case is being handled.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And not in and I don't mean that the case is being handled in an inappropriate manner. I don't mean that at all. I feel like it's a very delicate balance in regard to not compromising the case.
Yes. And so let me go back to this question, because now I have something I'd like to add to this. He is not in, for me, what I'm feeling is not involved in the sense of plotting and planning. It's a side, right. Like he would not want this, did not want this, would stop this. It's like an adjacent. It's like, I want to say, like, was there a gambling debt, or was there a, like, something like that, gambling or alcoholism or something that put somebody in a compromising position. I'm just using those as examples. And there's, and honestly, I don't even know if he knows the connection he has to it, but he is not at the, I don't feel he's at the core of it, but is adjacent to it.
Mm-hmm. There's something that's woven together there but it's not part of the case, even though it is. I'm trying to go ahead.
Okay. Do you want to, were you looking something up on that question? You want me to wait?
Yeah, I'm looking, the brother-in-law. I still feel like there's something about money. That's a great question. I think the ransom notes are opportunistic.
That's how I feel too. That's how I feel.
So
go ahead if you want to finish that thought.
Yeah, I was going to say the ransom notes are opportunistic, and they feel like somehow or another, which is interesting, that people could feel like they could extort money, but yet not be followed up on, like they couldn't get in trouble. Like, I believe somebody did put out a ransom note, but it turned out that it was fake and that this person then got arrested. So, like, you're going to get found out if you don't have legitimate information, you know what I mean? And
yeah. I'm feeling the ransom notes up here, meaning superficial, and then the true sort of negotiating, or I don't know if it's a letter, but communication that is happening is underneath the noise. And that may be what I was feeling, that they know that we don't know, that they know something that we don't know. Okay, let me get into your guys' questions now. Sorry. Yes, Anita, I think that, you know, it is cowardice. It is a very cowardice way to do it. Are any of the ransom notes real, sent to TMZ and local media? Is the person wanting money to tell what they know and telling the truth? This person has reached out to TMZ 4 times now. Yeah. Again, there's noise and then there's rumbling underneath. And a lot of what we're hearing is noise and not the truth, which is under. And again, to be clear, there's a reason why we're not hearing the truth, because of this, because we're discussing it, right? It's purposely being held. I don't think it's related to that. I don't. Do you, Denise?
No. And there was a question that was asked, was it a burglary gone wrong? And I'm going to go, no, it wasn't a burglary gone wrong. The intention was to go in and take her. What
Mhm.
I don't think was intended for it to go on this long.
Yeah. I 100% agree.
So,
100%.
um, so the so to go with your underlying
Mhm.
part, that's the part that's not being talked about, obviously. I believe that's where there probably was some types of ransom coming through,
Mm.
and it's gone sideways in regards to them being able to wrap this up. Like even the perpetrator that kidnapped her
Mhm.
didn't anticipate this going on like this and getting this much national attention. I feel
Mhm.
like it's more that they felt like they were going to get this and take it care of, and it was going to be over and done in like a couple days, and whoever was all
Mhm.
involved in this, and like you said, was it like money owed or gambling or whatever it was that you said? I feel like it was just this kind of this back and forth, and this was going to be the
Mhm.
solution for it because they were going to
Mhm.
get the money from the Savannah, the family,
Mhm.
whatever. And because, of course, anybody's going to do what they can to get their family member back. So, whatever that takes, they'll do that. And I just feel like this just got out of hand. And
Yeah.
again, how could it not get out of hand based on what you're doing? But I just feel like they had a plan and this is just not how that
Right.
went.
I agree. And to be clear, to what I was saying, I was using like drugs as in like this question, is it a drug related? I don't know. It is relate. So I know this doesn't help you guys. It's related to something I cannot, and the reason why I say I don't know is because unless I know for sure, I'm not going to say, but it's something like if it was drug related or alcohol related, but I don't know that it's necessarily that. It's something else. And here's the other thing I was getting as Denise was talking was this was supposed to everything she just said about it being like it should have like this shouldn't have come to light, meaning there was a threat that they were going to do. It would have been nipped, it was supposed to be nipped in the bud immediately. The turnaround was quick, nobody harmed, we move on. Whatever is supposed to happen, like whoever is supposed to get in trouble gets in trouble, whatever. But this was
Hmm.
not supposed to go, this was not supposed to be out in the light. And there's, it feels like the person that took her was a little green, not super good at it, but the people that hired this person are good and have done this and do this, and this isn't their first time. What went wrong is an interesting question. Something on their end, or hold on. It feels it's feeling like there was this something was brewing prior, something was brewing that family was aware of, something was brewing, like there was like again, I'm just going to use it as an example. Somebody owed someone money. Don't know if it was that cut and dry. I don't think it was. Okay. But everybody knows that this thing is brewing. Okay. There's this issue. And I don't mean like a family drama. I mean like it feels like something specific to Savannah, not the Epstein files related, but something like, I almost want to say like she was trying to wanted to do something overseas or Middle East. Like there was something there that that was, there was some sort of connection. Okay. and and so there's like rough feathers were getting ruffled, right? And um and she wasn't really backing down. And it's not just her, it was sort of other people involved. I think somehow maybe this is where the brother-in-law comes in. And it's not that people were being defiant, they were just like doing their jobs, living their life, and stuff started to brew, like the story started to grow, like, and all of a sudden the family's like, well, this is not how we've been doing business all this time. This isn't how I typically, like, this isn't how things go. Like, usually if something comes to a boiling point, it's addressed and either it's dropped or something else happens. But this kept brewing and boiling and boiling, and all of a sudden, bam, and they're like, whoa, what? And so there's this thing where I keep seeing, like, the family knows nobody's fault. This is nobody's fault. And it was like, this went to a place that, why didn't anyone stop this? Why? And again, this is no one's fault, but this is what's being said. Like, how come this wasn't stopped before this happened? You know, we could have just had the conversation, and this got out of control. Like you said, just out of control.
It was like a speeding train going down the tracks, and there was no stopping it. There was no slowing it down. And now this is, you know, where we are, so to speak. It's and
thank you for that. I know I keep adding it in. Sorry. Go ahead.
And things just keep piling on top of each other. And it's hard to differentiate now, because, like, it was here, then it was here, and then now this is here and this is here. And it's just, it just keeps compounding. And because it keeps compounding itself, then it's taking them, truthfully, further away from finding her.
Totally feel that. Was the video of the same person? Course, no. Denise, you jump into that person in that video just feels like a separate, like a hired gun from everything else, like disconnected from everything else. Do you feel that?
Yeah, and I did see an interview, or read an article on an interview that supposedly Ring camera does, I mean, unless you've had a subscription, they don't keep the video. So I know there was some question about where this video came from, where did they dig it up from? And again, I don't know all of the details, so I could be, you know, not getting this information correct. But it's interesting that supposedly there was no video, and then now there was. So was this done after the fact?
What is your feeling on that? Do you feel like they are purposely messing with the public? Is that what you're thinking?
Maybe, because they're trying to distract from what they're really trying to navigate. Because again, this thing exploded, and they're trying to do what damage control, if you will, where they're trying to get their ducks back in a row while they're trying to figure out how they're going to navigate this, because it has gained such national attention that they don't know how to navigate this such high profile, because it just started off as a local incident, you know, and then once people got wind of it being Savannah Guthrie's mother, then it went and went and went and went, and it just kept snowballing. And then the people that took her, who thought they were just going to be done in a couple of days, were like, oh, now what do we do with her?
Yeah. And there's something, so you're saying whoever possibly, you know, created this video as just so the public would leave us alone so we can actually do the job. Like, so we can actually figure out who and what and how. I do feel a disconnect from the person in the video. There's a disconnect. And again, the only way I can right now see it is they're not part of anything else. They just went in, and either they went in and did the job, or it's like what Denise is saying, this was a plant. but there's a disconnect. Like what I can't see is I can't see her being removed from the home. That's what's confusing me. Is I can't see her being removed. I can't see a struggle. I can't see traveling. I don't see movement. She just feels within, almost like within the home, which, I mean, that's silly. I get that. But it's like, you want to go, did you look in the basement? And I can only compare this to, I do a lot of search, dog and cat tracking, animal tracking, when they get out. And it reminds me of this time when this family called me, and they live in this big complex. And I just was like, and listen, I will tell people my success rate for, I never thought I'd be good at it, but it's, I say twice have I not found the animal. And every time I do these cases, I feel like a moron, because I'm saying stuff that just sounds so outrageous. And I said to them, I was like, your dog is in the building. I feel like she's right underneath you. Do you have a garage? Do you have it? Like, she is in, there's no way she's here. There's no way. Okay, I'm telling you. And I'm like navigating them, and boom, guess where she was? The closet. She was in the freaking closet. That's what this feels like to me. This feels like that she is in her basement. And I want to go, why are you? She's right there. She's right there. So one of two things. Either there's something really strange going on, way beyond what any of us can even imagine. Like, everyone's in on it. I don't know. Or they've returned her and nobody knows, or she's only a couple doors down, or do you know what I mean? Like, but she's close. I don't even feel her leaving that front door. If they that's it. Go on. Sorry.
Well, no, I was going to say, Violet has could she possibly be in a family member home, and that's why it feels like she's home?
Yes. Great. This is why we want your help. Yes.
And then Joanne Stewart, she wants to know, did she know who they were?
That's a good question.
That is a good question. I don't think so. I don't think she knew who they were. Well, she didn't know them. I think she was, I want to say it's like she knew of them, but didn't know them.
Yeah, that I feel that. I feel that. That's how the whole thing feels. It all feels like everyone knows the players just at face value, but that's it. You know?
Yeah.
The video came from a lawyer. Okay, that's deep. Like, there are two. Okay, this is interesting. There are two videos. They blurred out the face of the second man. I've only seen the one video of him with all the gloves and the butt and putting the thing up, and that's the only one I've seen. That's interesting. I think we just answered that question. Is she close or overseas?
She's close.
Hold on. There is a map of the house of her house to another home that's less than 2.5 miles away. Oh, that's interesting. Your readings are consistent with other psychics. Very amateurish kidnapping, got out of control, and too many trails to follow now because she was passed off a few times. Interesting. Let's see. Yeah, Violet saying, oh, here we go. I feel like some collective changes will come from this case, and it will change the life path of the family, especially Savannah. I think going through this is sending her on a new life path. I think you are 100% right, and that's a very good read, very deep.
What do you feel, Miriam, about the mom when they did take her?
It feels like this, all I keep seeing, I'm laughing because I'm seeing them helping her, like helping her walk. I'm not seeing like grabbing, throwing her over the shoulder and bulldozing out. It's like I'm seeing there's two of them and I'm seeing them help her move. And I'm not saying that she's not scared, but that's not an overwhelming feeling for me. You're shaking your head. Are you feeling that same thing?
Yeah, and I feel like, because I put this in our chat because I wanted to make sure that we were on the same page before I brought this up, because I know we didn't want to talk about.
Mm, 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 God, I'm reading it now. I gotcha. I gotcha. Ah, yeah. I was thinking the exact same thing. Yeah. Uh, yeah. Okay.
So,
So
so kind of what we're talking about here is when I said this is that I feel like the mom, something occurred for mom, where whether she had a panic attack or tripped and fell or something. So it wasn't intentional if she got hurt or whatever. It wasn't because, like you said, they were kind to her. I know, um, but it's kind of something strange.
the intention was not to murder her.
No.
That is still not the intention. Did we both? She would have needed to be helped out. Yeah. But I mean,
Because it's
also,
the comment above was it was reported that she had mobility issues.
yes, I was aware of that too. But I mean,
Okay.
but what I'm seeing is like they listen, you get a big enough guy, you can pick her up and carry her and like
Hmm.
throw something over her. I'm sorry, but like throw something over her head. Like I'm saying I'm not experiencing that traumatic of an event. I'm experiencing like two men walking in. What I'm seeing is two men walking in and saying, listen, you need to come with us. And we will explain this later, but you need to come with us.
Hmm.
And they helped her in. And I'm not saying they didn't scare her. I'm not saying any of that. I'm just saying there wasn't this like traumatic, like pushing and shoving and like it was like,
Screaming and hollering or anything like that.
yes,
It was very quiet.
yes. And we
Um,
will explain, but you need to come with us.
right. And if you go back up a little bit, Spiritual Bombshell has a comment there.
This one?
Hmm.
Yes. Ooh, you just hit that nail on the head.
Hmm.
We need some logic brain. Get the logic out there. Piece that together with what we were saying.
Hmm. Because when and you're right, Spiritual Bombshell, because when somebody's panicking, it's different than if they're worried, like, oh my gosh, is she ever going to come back? It's like, oh my gosh, what are they going to find out?
Okay, start piecing stuff together, folks. We need some
Because
logic to come into the picture. That's crazy.
because she's good question. So there's a comment here: are the perpetrator or perpetrators still in Arizona or even in the USA?
I'm sorry. Here. The main culprits who are in charge of this whole thing, who are in charge of who deal with situations like this regularly, again, like that whole owing or right, like payback type thing, they are not in the US. The person that did this, again, there's someone still connected physically, like with her, because this blew up in everyone's face. So somebody still had to be there. But the main people in charge were never here.
Right.
But hold on, this is oh, I wanted to do this. I wonder if she was taken to a safe space in a basement. Um I mean, that's just what I feel is it feels like something like that for sure. What were you gonna say?
Well, I was going to say in Arizona, a lot of our houses don't have basements. I'm not saying that there's none, but the majority of homes don't.
Attic?
Be kind of hot.
Okay. So this
And,
is just
and
a
I
back
don't know how
room.
you would get a mobility challenged person up into an attic.
Okay. So
And
this
our attics here in Arizona aren't the same as attics you would see in other places. Like you can't put a room in the attics up here.
gotcha. So it's a
So
back room of some sorts or something.
correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a good question. Did Nancy recognize the kidnapper voice? I don't think she knows. No.
I don't think so because what I just heard when that question popped up was, you know how when they alter voices when they don't want your voice heard, like that
Oh.
mechanical thing, it was kind of like, so the answer to that is no, she did not recognize their voice.
But I don't even feel like she knows them. Like even like maybe she could if they played the voice. But I also, as you were describing that, I was feeling her woozy, like what, like a sleep maybe woozy or like a medication type woozy. And so she wasn't hearing things as if she were wide awake and, correctly anyway. She messed up and is freaked out. Oh, that's when we were talking about her panicking. Yes. Um, let's see. But after so many days of oh, after so many days of high stress, does worried stress maybe morph into panic stress? Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, of course. I mean, we need a therapist or a psychologist for that, right?
Right.
We talked earlier in the show that we weren't going to address if she was alive or not. We didn't want to create false hope or cause undue stress on anybody if anyone were to see that. Could have this abduction been put in motion to get Savannah away from home or Olympics or traveling, not to harm mom, but to get Savannah in Arizona? So I guess what they're asking now is like I was saying, there was something like there was some sort of thing like with Savannah, like doing an interview or doing this or doing this, something like that. Like, was this all circulates around Savannah? Like, do we all agree on that? I don't know. I'm asking.
Mm.
I feel like, yes, there's something, like I said,
Mm-hmm.
like there was some sort of deal or something that was supposed to be done. And usually it works out like A, B, or C. And this time A, B, or C didn't happen. And all of a sudden people are panicking like, wait a minute, usually if someone doesn't want to do something, they just say this, and then we do this. But now this person is doing something else. And it was like, I feel like there was an escalation happening that led to it. Like, this wasn't just like, what? They were able to start seeing they may not have seen the escalation right away, but they started to see it.
Mm-hmm.
Secret bunker, just a back room, right? They look to
Yeah.
have flat roofs.
Yeah, a lot of Arizona, especially in the southern part, a lot of them are flat roofed, so they don't even have.
I don't feel it was the Olympics. Like
I think what she's saying was that I think this was in relationship to. I could be wrong on this question, but I think it was in relationship to were they trying to get her to come back to Arizona and not go out of,
gotcha.
And so this was the next big thing on Savannah's calendar, and then she withdrew almost immediately. Correct me if I'm wrong, Megan.
That makes sense. Not trying to be insensitive, but it honestly feels like a setup. The amount of energy that is being generated by all eyes watching and thinking about this story. I mean, I'm never going to write off anything. I want to know what Savannah is hiding or trying to protect. I don't know that it's that cut and dry. Again, I go back to what I keep feeling, which is this, and I'm going to use this as an example. I'm not saying it's literally this. She wanted to do a interview of someone from the Middle East or overseas, and it was a sketchy interview. It wasn't going to hurt, hurt anybody in the US, or anybody in the US cared, but for some reason it was raising eyebrows. And she's been here before, and they go through the steps, and pushback happens and pushback happens, and either A, it doesn't happen, or B, they keep pushing and they get what they want. And it felt like it was that scenario, and it kept building and building, and then all of a sudden it went off the rails, and they're like, calm down, you just say no if you don't want to do something. Like, how is it all of a sudden this? And that's where the son-in-law is not at fault. I keep stressing, and I hope that they don't use him as a scapegoat, but he understands the dynamics, or is aware of the dynamics. Like, there's a dynamic at play here that everyone's aware of. But we go back to what was originally said by Denise. It got out of hand.
Yeah. It escalated, and now they're just trying to.
I mean, I was going to say, with this, it just feels like I'm just intuitively feeling like they're told to not do anything and just be still. Well, Hertzman's connected to Epstein, so she may be panicked that this is coming to light. Oh. I mean, that's a twist.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe that's what I kept, like, she wanted to do something and this and that. Maybe that's what that was. She wouldn't be able to climb out a window or get out of a door. If she's mobility challenged, they keeping her in a bedroom knowing she wouldn't be. Yeah. The loosh feeds the darkness, and what, or, oh, yes. Oh, that's Jen. Hi, Jen.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, that makes sense. Denise, that's a Jen.
Oh, hi, Jen.
I haven't seen them searching for her.
The kids. Yeah. I don't know. It's very interesting because it is such a high profile case. I know this was over 40 years ago. Well, about 40 years ago now, there was we had a murder in our family, and it took my cousins doing some searching and got the perpetrator and everything like that. And so, but they were told to not get involved, but they were not they weren't taking no for an answer, but it also was not a high profile case where things could be as easily compromised. I'm not saying things can't get compromised in those situations, but it was
wow, pretty... no kidding.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's scary. I'm sorry you had to deal with that. Yeah. So you sort of have been through it.
Yeah, it's not, because, it was my cousin, and she was missing for several days, and they couldn't find her or her body, or, and after about, I think it was a week, they
did.
Yeah, because her sisters just kept looking and looking and looking, and,
wow,
found evidence that proved who did it, which sadly had been her husband.
Oh, I'm sorry, Denise. Savannah was supposed to cover the Olympics. Did that have anything to do with this? I don't think it did. No.
I
Do
don't
you,
think
Denise?
so. I don't think so. Um, I think if, and this is an if, because we don't know, if Savannah was aware of any of this transpiring behind the scenes, um, again, it got completely out of hand, and she doesn't really know what's going on right now either.
Yeah. This is a good question. And saying person who person who organizes overseas could just be the hoax ransom extortion. Yes, absolutely. That could be what I'm feeling for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I just found your channel and subscribed, enjoying your gifts on this case. Thank you. Is cartel? I don't think it's that. I don't think it's that. The part of Arizona that she lived in had a ruler law that the street or porch lights couldn't be so bright. Any truth to this?
There could be. I mean, if she lived in a neighborhood where there's an HOA, and because of because I'm not sure exactly where her house was located, but there are areas in Tucson that are desert areas and there's wildlife and stuff, so you can't have super bright lights. So it is very possible that she couldn't have a super bright porch light because of the neighborhood that she lived in. There's portions of neighborhoods in that are either very old from like the 1920s, or everything's more new in the last 40 years.
Interesting. If so, whoever did this has to know the layout. Yeah, I mean, they scope it out. Are there police close to solving this? I feel like, so here's the thing. I don't know if you guys saw this, but the other night on the news, they were talking about how they had blocked off a house. They pulled 2 people out of the house. They didn't ultimately arrest them. And something to me, for me, I felt like that was the infamous distraction we keep talking about. Like that didn't feel real to me. That felt like we were being diverted, whether we were being diverted because, again, we keep coming back to the FBI needing quiet to do this case. So they have to have us focused on something else so they can actually do their job without interference. And so they point everybody over here. I didn't feel like that house, I wasn't feeling anything there. I was like, that's weird. That seems so random. Like that felt very random to me that they did that. So I'm just, I don't feel like this was, I don't feel at all that this is a cut and dry, the husband did it. Like, I just don't feel that. It keeps doing this for me. Like the energy of it is like this. There's more moving pieces. There's more people. It's not just one man pissed off and did this. It's like, this and then this and then this and then this is I just keep being shown like this chain reaction of events that got us to this point. Now, was that chain reaction of events due to, I'm just making this up, bad behavior from the son-in-law and his wife? Could be, sure. Could it be that they had bad behavior and Savannah was trying to clean that mess up or fix something for them? Sure. I don't know the facts of that. I don't see that. I can just tell you that if I was reading this to them personally, I'd be saying, listen, nobody in your family meant for this to happen.
No.
But there are pieces of all of this that they've already put together, and they already know, okay, it started to do this and then this and then this and then this, and then it comes to a head, right? And now here we are. And then it does what Denise says, where it just blew up out of control, out of the original people who started this, who are good at this. They were like, what? This
Yeah.
was supposed to be in and out, 48 hours, turn around, get the point across. We were never supposed to know about this.
Right. And now here we are, what, 10 days, 2 weeks later, and it's still escalating. And because of the way things are going, they're having to move and shuffle their parts. And then this part, you know what I mean? It's like, and now it's like you know, like those cone games. It's like there's pieces, you know, they do with the dogs, and it's like, here, find the treat, you know what I mean? And it's
Yeah.
like, well, first she was here, and then we got to move her here, and then this, and you know, it's almost like, and I hate to say this, but it's like the pawn is, where is she? I'm
Yeah.
not saying she's the physical
Right.
pawn, but the pawn is, where is she? And so, well, we're going to look here, and then, oh, well, that wrong cup. Okay, let's look over here. And it's just
Right.
this constant, you know,
Yep. Yep.
moving of where is she, you know,
Yep.
and not to, you know, make light of the situation because it's very serious, but it's kind of like that book of like, where's Waldo? It's like you're trying to find a needle in a haystack of all of this. I feel like some of it was goofed up. I feel some of it was botched. Some of the things weren't handled probably as well as they could be. And there's also just so many other things that just, again, I just keep seeing like this freight train going down a track, and it
Mhm.
just keeps getting more and more momentum and going faster and faster and faster. And at some point, yes, the train is going to crash because it's going to stop, or, you know, whatever the case might be there. And then we'll find out what the real truth is here of what happened. And,
Mhm.
but in the meantime, it's still, we have to figure out what's, you know,
What's what?
what's what. Yeah.
Okay. Someone's saying yes, it's true in that neighborhood. That must be about the lights.
Oh, yep.
This is a good question.
I'm not sure I feel this is going to end up going to trial. I don't know why.
Totally was just going to say that. Was just going to say that.
Thanks, Jen.
Yeah, I don't feel that going there either. This is gonna this. I feel this ending with like I almost want to use the word like a thud, like a splat, like
Like
not
a
literally.
book slammed shut. Okay, chapter over. We're done.
Yes, yes. It just kind of it like a thud, meaning like, well, that was anticlimactic. You know what I mean? Like everyone's like, what? And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, okay, well, she was over there, and like I agree. And for some reason, it is not going to go to trial. No one, like, I don't even know if someone will be put in jail, but that someone feels like they're taking they like that someone feels like the hired gun, not the person that the controlling the puppet strings. It's the hired gun that's going to end up if
Yeah,
they
the
get
fall guy.
anybody, the fall guy. Did we answer this question? Negotiations that backfired, not for the money, really. Like to
Mm,
me, it started with just like I keep saying this because it's what I keep getting. This whole thing started with like I was saying like a typical conversation about something. Like I was saying like her having a conversation with wanting to do something, an interview or something, or maybe it was the brother-in-law that was like she was trying to fix something they did. Like this started as something not that they do all the time, but should have been managed and handled, especially at her level and with her money. Like it should have been resolved, but it blew up. Like Denise then took over and said, anyway.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, I mean, it's not that far out of the possibility, but
I don't feel that. I can't say yes for sure, right? You feel the same
mm-mm,
thing?
yeah.
Yeah.
And
Is this a psyop? What's a psyops? To distract the public from the release of external files. People in power are behind this. Ah, thank you for telling us
oh,
that.
yeah.
You know what? Listen, I'm not gonna lie. We all know that the e-files, we'll call them that, uh have tentacles beyond, like, just right. I'm not gonna lie, like, a part of me just doesn't even want to touch it, look at it, go there. But, like, I mean, I'm meaning intuitively, like, I am fully
Hmm.
aware of what it is and what happened. I don't want to get mixed up in it, and don't want, like, I just don't even want to be a part of that. So to answer that question, it very well could be, and I just am blocked because I don't want to engage or have even an inkling of saying the name and the word and anything. Um, but it could be for like what I keep feeling and seeing when I'm like overseas and over there, like it very well could be. Yeah, so she's talking about when they took those two people out of a house, and you're like, what are you doing? That was so random. Yeah.
Hmm. Well,
Mm.
it's kind of like, again, they're trying to I do feel there's a certain amount of trying to distract people so that they can do what they need to do behind
Mm.
the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
So the distraction isn't, mm, shall I say, to pull the wool over the public's eyes. It's more just to keep, so that they can do what they need to be doing.
Yeah. Apparently, a card for adult services was found by Nancy's door before. Is this related in any way? I don't think so. It feels.
No, no, I don't think it was. I I'm seeing that maybe she lives in an older area. Like, there's a lot of elderly people where she lives in her community. And I think this is kind of like when people leave landscape things on your
Yeah.
door or roofing things or things like that. I think it's situational to maybe the neighborhood she's in,
Yeah.
the demographic. That's the word I'm looking for, the demographic of the neighborhood she lives in. And it's kind of like, well, if you need anything, here you are.
I agree. I don't believe they were, no.
Mm-mm.
I have suspicions of the brother, but maybe it's his 26 years in the military that makes him hard to read. I do hope none of the family was involved. Yeah, I found him hard to read too. But I ultimately, once I started reading the energy, there was this, to me, clarity that there's an awareness that he may not even realize he has now, because he's not in, it's not his fault. He didn't, no intention there, but like there's an awareness. Everybody see, there's like, this isn't random. Like, this is not like 100% out of the blue random. There is a tie, and they are aware of that tie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks. No to the deleting themselves.
I agree.
Um, uh, the person or persons that did this,
You want me to let you out?
they're not that, I know this sounds terrible, but they're not all that wound up about it because they
Yes.
didn't do it to harm her.
Yeah.
So this was never about hurting Nancy or harming her in any way. Again, go circle back around, it was really more that they were just talking about, okay, we're going to do this. And like Maryam said, 48 hours, we're going to be bing, bang, boom, done. And we're in and out and we're all done. And then it just,
Yeah. I keep that 48 hours keeps like going like this. Like 48 hours and no one would have ever known this happened. We talked earlier about not wanting to answer that question out of respect for everybody
the
involved.
family. Yeah.
I agree with what our other viewer said, where she saw Savannah's life. This viewer here, CC, I can never
Rose
say
petals.
Rose
CC
Petals. Here you
Rose
go.
Petals. Yeah. That
CC
she's
has
going to just go
said,
on a new life trajectory.
yeah, I agree with CC for
Yeah.
sure. How does this change the feeling? I don't want to be at the dinner table. I'll tell you that over Thanksgiving.
No, no, it's going to change the family dynamic a lot. It's going to put some, they keep showing me like a big divide and like a wall. I'm not saying that they're not going to get together or things like that, but it's definitely going to shift the family dynamic. And, sometimes situations like this can bring families closer and sometimes it can bring them apart. And unfortunately, I think in this circumstance, it's going to kind of divide them a little bit.
I feel the same thing because mom is what held them together. Without mom, there's not that much, if you want to say, in common. And there's not that much of a reason to get along. I think a lot of parents can relate to that. My mom listening for sure. I'm sure, Denise, you're a parent of a billion, so you get it. And the moms are what hold things together. And if mom is not there, yeah.
So unless the kids had a very close relationship, themselves outside of their relationship with mom, they're just going to go their own way and not because they don't, they care about each other because they're related, they're siblings, but are they all best friends? No.
I agree. And I feel like there's animosity. I feel like Savannah and mom were the closest and the others had animosity. You said jealousy earlier, referencing the husband, but I wonder if you were picking up on, I mean, it could have been the husband, the brother-in-law.
Right.
Yeah. Now I'm feeling now that question was asked, I'm feeling an animosity, a jealousy, about that relationship. And the gloves were random too, a distraction. Yeah. Let's see. Look into celebrities wearing medical boots. Savannah was wearing one. What does that mean? What are medical boots? Please.
Yeah.
Please tell. I don't want to Google it. Is it weird if I Google it? I don't want to know do I not want to Google that?
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe they're medical boots that you would wear, like if you were in the military or you're at, a combat base or something. I don't know.
Okay, we need you to tell us more. They won't answer if she's still with us out of respect for. Oh, thank you for sharing that. Yeah. Oh, did you just click on that too, Denise?
No.
Why do they keep disappearing? It's been said this will end as bizarre as it started. Oh yeah. Yeah, like we just feel it going, just like 1 minute it's this big thing and the next minute it's like, oh my God, remember when that happened? Yeah, it's very strange. Oh, hi, Megan. Thank you for covering this for us. We respect your boundaries. Really shake. Oh, thank you. Is it a gambling debt for the brother-in-law involved? I was using that as an example, but I don't know. I genuinely don't know if it's specifically that. It's something. And like I said, it's either, I feel like now, like when I kept saying like Savannah was trying to set something up and with this person overseas or Middle East, I keep hearing overseas and Middle East and like, was it an interview? But no, maybe it was her trying to fix something, a problem that someone in the family started. Cause I feel that too. I feel like she was trying to negotiate something, fix something. Right. And it was that's why, okay, here it is. That's why I kept saying like, she's done this before. She's fixed things before. And I don't mean fixed like this, like it's, oh my God, so big and bad. Just like someone got into trouble, cost a lot of money, and we got to fix that because we don't want it to
Right.
turn into a scandal. She's done
Right.
this before, not because the family's a mess, just because life happens. This time she did it, and it was like, wait, what? What? It's not. Wait, why is this not doing what it normally does and just going away? Like, why is this building momentum? What is happening? Like, that's where I'm saying it started to go like this, like this, like this, right? And then that's when Denise saw it just go, now it's out of control.
Right. So if to go back on to go with and tie into what you were saying as you were talking, what I was seeing is that yes, she was fixing something, but I think the kidnapping came in to extort more than what was going to be the the fix, right? So if the fix was $100,000, and I'm just making up numbers, I don't know numbers, but if just as a sake of an argument, like if it was $100,000 to fix the issue, then these people wanted 500,000. And it was like, what in the heck? This is not how this goes. This is not how we've done this before. And then it just one thing after another just kept stacking up until it just is now where we're at. And again, because it's such a high profile case is also why the FBI is involved, because once they go past a certain amount of time and that sort of thing, then there's more agencies brought in, and then there's just more chaos, if you will. Even though it's really organized chaos, there's just more chaos, because first it was at a local level and then it's escalated into a national level, and so now everybody is trying to thread their pieces together to figure out how this even transpired in the first place. And and they can't even quite figure out, I don't think, how these people even got in the house. So it's a very peculiar set of circumstances.
Remember how I was saying earlier, I felt like I can see two people on either side of her walking her out. Where is the second person? Where is the second man? Someone in the comments had said there was a video of two people and they blurred out the one guy or the one.
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I'm reading the comments. Megan, the medical boots are like, the air boots if you injure your ankle or your foot or something.
Oh, yeah. And what does that have to do with anything? Like, I know that the guy, what they said. So what does it mean? Like, what Big Kitty said that means something. What does it mean? I mean, I'm not asking you to find out. I'm just sort of rhetorically saying, what does it mean? Okay, so listen. There's two people walked her out. There wasn't a fight. I don't even know if I'm feeling fear yet. Okay. And maybe that's because she's asleep. She's unclear. She's not sure. She thinks they're not in masks when they're walking her out. It may have just been their demeanor, but one of them was very, hey, charismatic almost. Hey, like, just, we gotta do some stuff. Just bear with me. I'm friends with your brother-in-law, which is maybe where all this started, with your son-in-law. And there's just a sense of, hey, like, it's okay.
Right.
That's because they didn't struggle to get her out.
And that she did willingly or, went,
But that's why I keep sort of harping on that, because that to me feels very significant. That there was no struggle.
There was
and
no
I'm not
fighting.
feeling or excessive fear.
No, she wasn't afraid. They weren't aggressive with her. They were, truthfully, they were gentle and kind with her. Like
Yeah, that's
they
how I
weren't
feel.
like rushing her out. They weren't bullying her to get out. They weren't yanking her or by her arms or any, like they were really just, they were caring for her as an elderly woman with, you know,
With issues.
yeah. I was reading this question. So were they hired to take her or was she taken far away? I think she's not that far away.
I don't think she's far away either.
I think it's I think it's like kind of going back to what you said, all of a sudden it's going to be like she was there under their nose the whole time,
Mhm.
and um and then it's going to be like, okay, all done. Like
Right.
boom.
Does
Like you said, it's like,
does anyone want to explain how they couldn't find her and she was right there?
yeah. Well, and it's strange from this perspective of that, as one of the viewers said, it's like it started off so bizarre and it's going to end exactly the same
Mhm.
way, just like
Mhm.
the viewer commented. I'm
Mhm.
sorry, I don't remember which one of you it was. I apologize for that, but I mean, it really has truly escalated to this weird place of information and lack of information, you know,
Mhm.
going hand in hand, side by side. It's and the people are talking to each other that need to be talking to each other, but again, there's still this whole, like you said, behind the scenes or underground part of this that the general public is unaware of at this time.
Mhm.
And yes, they are looking for Nancy. They are not, that all of that and the billboards and various things like that are not there just for show, because they are looking for her,
Mhm.
and they're going to be like, wow, how the heck did that happen?
Mhm. I agree. Um, this was an interesting question. Will the whole truth ever be known? I don't think so.
Uh-uh.
I think they're going to make up something. I don't think we're ever going to be told the truth. I feel like she's in a home. Like I had originally said, like in a basement of a home. So, and as Denise said, there's not basement, so it's probably a back room, maybe a guest house, maybe. I feel like she's in a home, or she could be in a industrial neighborhood in a warehouse. It could be that's, but she's not far.
Mm-mm.
But for some reason, I don't. From something's holding me back from like really honing in on what building and where. For something is holding me back from that. I feel like this is going to wrap up fast. I mean, I know it's been 2 weeks already, but I feel like it's coming to a head because it feels like it has to come to a head because they have to account. Like, listen, this isn't going away. And so there's this feeling of this isn't going away. Someone better give. One of the sides has to
Mm-hmm.
give because this is not going away. So who's going to do what to give? It's very strange. I'm not sure what that was. That in reference to your story, Denise?
Oh, I know, the kids where the family's going to be fractured because mom
Yes.
was the glue.
Oh,
So
gotcha.
yeah, probably not that close. But
I agree.
they will have choices as they get older, the cousins, to, you know, create relationships as they get older if they want to. Because it's not like anybody's going to prevent them from being friends or
Hmm.
close. It's just
Hmm.
in the meantime, it's just going to be like, okay, we're all going to live our lives and, you know,
I
move
agree.
on.
That's how I feel for sure. I feel exact same way. Like it's gonna just create a rift, but it's not like it's going to be this like fighting as much as it's just like go to your sides and we'll come
Hmm.
back when we're ready, and that could be years.
Right.
Okay, so now we need to figure out the whole medical boot thing. What are our thoughts on Sheriff Nanos? Well, I heard his brother died the same day that this case broke or was opened or happened. And I have to wonder, I just heard that today that his brother died. And you have to ask yourself, is that where maybe people were losing faith in the choices that were made and how this went? That poor man should have been removed from the case to grieve and wasn't. And I don't know. It just you just automatically go to this is why people need, no matter what profession they're in, they need to be allowed time to deal with what's happening in their own lives. Yeah.
Yeah. And generally speaking, 2 days for bereavement is really not quite enough.
No. Jeez. And that's usually what is that why you're saying? Because that's what corporations do. Like if you're lucky, you get a week, and it's like, okay, I am over it. Yeah. I mean, so to answer that question, that's really where that's really where I stand with him. Was I don't know that we can do. I'll look up a picture of him right now. I don't know that he got a fair shot. I mean, whether he was corrupt before or something isn't really, yeah, I am looking at a picture of him, though. I am a little sketch on him. Something ain't right. Honestly, looking at that picture, I'm not saying something. I'm sorry. When I said something ain't right, I mean, I think there's corruption somewhere. Okay. Now, is there corruption in this specific case? Something feels, this is the first person I've looked at in this case, and I'm going like, what? What's going on in that head, Denise?
Sometimes we just have to leave sleeping dogs lie.
All right, we're not going there.
I think that's one of those things that we could go down that road, but we don't want to distract from the case.
Okay, thank you. I don't get the feeling that Savannah's faking this. I never saw her and thought she's faking this. I just never felt that. And I know what you're saying. I'm not saying she's faking it, but it feels very genuine. Her suffering feels very genuine to me, whether the suffering is panic, like was said, or it just feels very genuine. Could be overseas trading. Oh, we're still talking about that. Yes. Which date do you feel she went missing? Late January, February 1, or February 2? Oh, January standing out to me. You also, or?
Yeah, I think it was late January. It wasn't early February. It was late January. I'm getting 28, 29, somewhere in there.
Yeah, me too. Like what kind of accident? I just Googled celebrity medical boots and found nothing. FYI, okay.
Thank you, Hazel.
Did they say okay? I was going to ask if they ever took off their mask. I feel one person, I don't feel they presented themselves with masks, because I'm not feeling her like in fear. And one for sure did not have a mask on. The other, it's hard for me to see, but one for sure did not have a mask on. I think these two people split up. The second person feels more removed, as if trying to do damage control or control visibility, while the other person accepts. Yeah. Cece, you're right there with us.
Yeah. Well, and I think a portion of the reason the way, like what I'm seeing these people wearing was like medical scrubs, right?
Interesting.
So I just keep seeing them wearing something that made them look like medical personnel. So she also went easily because she thought they were taking her somewhere, you know?
Interesting. Did they say, okay, it's time to get dressed? I keep hearing this. Interesting. If you heard it, then let's
Yeah.
go with that. What about all the blood drops on the doorstep? Even when I heard about that, I honestly, it just kept like a something on her arm cut. At that age, you cut very easily.
Mm-hmm.
Like even when I first heard it, I was like, that's not like,
Yeah.
I still wasn't feeling struggle. I was feeling like, she scraped it on the door and that type of thing. Boots hide ankle monitors. Okay.
Huh.
And ankle monitors are for what? When you're arrested for
Yeah.
something or, okay. I mean, does that matter? The second person feels more in charge to me. I could see that. Yeah. Did they break into the house or ring the doorbell?
Um, they did not ring the doorbell, and break into the house is kind of I want to say a loose term from the standpoint that they didn't. I feel like they didn't break anything to get
Yeah.
in. I feel like
Yeah.
they got in.
Yeah. I agree. I agree. Yeah, I mean, it could. I'm sort of like where Denise said about the sheriff. Like, yeah, I'm not going to go there.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, it very well could be tied to that. Hotel. Okay. Are you saying that you're seeing this? You're feeling this? Like hotel room 19? Is that where that's coming from? I feel like, so like I said earlier, Savannah is very aware of, she's aware of more than we know she's aware of. Okay, we're going to finish these last few and then we're going to jump off. Were they in the house before Nancy came in the house? No, I don't think they were. Do you?
No.
I don't think they were either. For her daughter to be a celebrity, it's normal to have a car pick her up sometimes. That's true. That's a good, interesting point.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Report of her missing is 1:31 to 2:1. She was reported being at dinner evening there. Okay.
Okay.
So 1:31. Hold on. Okay, so we're almost done. Could Nancy be confused and not realize she was abducted? Like they told her she needed to stay somewhere else. Yeah, I feel like in the beginning there was a little bit of not realizing what was taking place. There's a picture of it with a choir a while back, along with other high-level celebs. Too many to be coincidence. Is TMZ being honest about all the notes they have been given? I think TMZ is being honest, but I feel like they also aren't vetting as. I think they're getting a lot of BS in there too, and it's not being vetted. Don't know about that. Will there be any? I don't know how to answer that question when you're saying, are you asking, is there a car involved? I mean, there was some sort of car used. Will there be any information that Savannah will beg the cops to not release to the public? I don't think she needs to beg. I think it's all going to be understood. Is the person contacting DMZ involved or related to the family? That's where I just said. I think a lot of it's BS, and something in there may be real, but some of it's real, some of it's not. That's where I felt earlier. Who was crying? I think we missed something. Okay. Okay, so I think we covered it. What type of car use? That's what you're asking. I just see dark and I see a sedan type, not like an SUV. It's like a sedan might not be the right word. Like I want to say like, remember Oldsmobiles? Do they still have those?
I don't know, probably, but yeah, I know what you mean. Like a four-door car.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like a
thank
town
you. Thank
car.
you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, you guys, that was a lot. We're going to jump on for Patreon just a few minutes to recap with all of our lovely Patreon folks who we appreciate so much. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Thank
Please,
you.
we've got all kinds of cases on Patreon. We'll be back this Thursday with the new case. Please like, subscribe, join us. One last question. No, I do not believe she crossed the border, but thank you for jumping in, even late. All right, you guys,
Thank
thanks so
you.
much. Good
Take
night.
care. Bye. Good night.